ever heard people say, have you ever heard anyone say that most people get into politics and get politically minded out of nothing but attention whoring and narcissism? Have you ever heard that? The left is particularly accused of it, but I don't know if you can actually isolate that. If you haven't heard of that, or if you have, that has absolutely nothing to do with this video. And by that I mean, well, hopefully you'll watch the whole thing. Hugh, Matthias, son of Deuteronomy of Gath, whatever I'm to call you right here. This was too spicy for me to not share. So, do you remember when I was trying to explain the Israeli burden and you were saying, it was all by text, and you were saying I'm being too winded, and I was like, I know, but so I made a meme for you, just for you. Well, I shared it with the whole world along the way, but I made it because I was trying to make you understand. And I know I showed this to you already, and if you'll bear with me while I find this fucking thing that I lost again, which I did. I know it's on here. Hang on a minute. There we go. And, you know, the Israeli burden. No matter where the conversation began, it will end. All roads go to Israel, and all the buzzwords that come with it. And here we got the Israeli burden when, you know, it happens where you say anything. It's a sad day for me. My dog died. He was 11 years... You know who else died? Palestinians. But you don't care about them. Why are you apartheiding them? Israel's a white supremacist state and genocide isn't okay. Settler colonialism, it didn't start in 1948. It's on maps. Blah, 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 blah. It's exhausting. It's motherfucking exhausting. Although it's fun in hindsight, because I have to live with these people, I might as well make fun of them. What else am I going to do, right? So, what makes this interesting is I thought it was a girl for the longest time, because I never look close at people's profiles. One, I'm normally multitasking, whatever. So it starts, we're talking, it was the video I sent last night about the whole, he didn't say Nazis were good people, and I'm like, I can't believe this is still, people still saying this, and okay, she says, I honestly laugh when she says it, boss. I'm like, well, that's definitely true, though, and then she was being nice, she puts a heart emoji on there. It's Wolf's Bandit Ed. Love to know the story behind that one. Speaking about money, he's broke, okay, and I'm like, well, I doubt that anyone that lives in Mar-a-Lago or whatever the hell is broke. I think he's broke maybe by MC Hammer standards. Everybody who's under 35, just leave the room. Well, you can come back now. I'm done talking about MC Hammer. That's it. That's hardly relevant. I'm being very critical to what she's saying, and she's being nice. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm being nice. You know, but normally with the woke, you can't disagree with them. But so this was... okay, I could just let loose and just tell. I said on the front end, I'm a one-issue voter right now. And then I went on with my whole thing about abortion and my centrist views. Okay, anyone who's that curious, pause the video and read. Okay, moving on. I'm a feminist. I got good friends that are feminists, but don't tell people that this early in the fucking conversation, unless you're talking about feminism. No, nobody. Okay, but I'm still, you know, I'm being cool. You know, I'm like, I'm all for medical, life-saving women's health. Not me. Nope. I have a firm stance against women's health. In fact, that's just tradition. It's good old-fashioned cornbread tradition to be against women's health. I don't know why people are stuck on thinking that women need to be healthy. I don't even believe men need to be healthy. But definitely not women. For the stupid that might be listening to us who are not Hugh, that was what I call sarcasm. All right? It's okay. Calm down. All right. I know abortion. Okay. As a Native American's indigenous matriarch society. I'm very skeptical of that, by the way. What little I know of people from their individual respective tribes, I've never heard anyone describe that anyone that lives among their own people use the M word there. They're not patriarchies per se, I don't think. But I stand to be corrected. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. There's a lot of tribes in this country. They got a lot of different traditions. I grew up heavily woven into indigenous culture. So fucking what? See, I went out of my way to not say anything about my identity because it wasn't relevant here. This is a mark of an attention whore. This is a mark of, hey, we're talking about something, but let's talk about me! Me! I'm trying not to talk about me. Because, actual conversations, and this is why people, and this kind of motive to talk about things is why people end up believing stupid and frankly fucked up things, which is what we're going to get to. That Wolf Bandit Ed, it's not just that what he believes, it's how, well, you'll see. You already know. You probably already read this. But right now I'm at a friend's moment having wine. You're not supposed to be drinking the white man's wine. What's wrong with you? That's just corruption on a whole nother level. If they had, all right, that was fun. I'm not gonna ride that horse all the way into the sunset. Don't worry, John Wayne. Here we go. Yes, along with laughter and jokes, we are well-evolved individuals. I hate that word because when you understand evolution, that's not a compliment. Moving on, but she's being nice, nuts but nice. You're going to see a lot of projection coming up here, by the way. Hugs with consent. Hey, that warms my heart. Because I can tell she's woke as a woke dollar bill, whatever that means. I can see that, but she's being civil, liking what I say. Mostly not being snarky, even though you could possibly, if you were trying to, interpret some of the things I said as being snarky. I wasn't. But I just wasn't in a mood for being careful. I said to her, I'm a guy, who gives a damn, nobody cares except maybe myself, and it's not relevant anyway. I'm trying to avoid making this about me. Not because of my Zionism, or Jewishness, or, WAP foundations of fraternal line that I'm so ashamed of. But I'm not ashamed of it, I just joke about it. But I've been called every label in the book depending on who's doing the name calling. Anyway, I digress. And Hugh, you know what I'm talking about. By the way, the Groypers, they call me woke. They call me the Jewish infiltrator. They call me, I'll collect all the insults that the far right love to call me. I've enjoyed the radiation of the rays of the sun of their ire. I don't know which one I enjoy the hate from more. All right. Both sides of this taking ridiculously extremist stances. You know what I believe about this. Okay. I was voicing this and sitting at red lights. So obviously I'm not proofreading, and I know there's a pretty good chance that this is a little So I'm a 48-year-old pushing on antique status, and I remember how much of a hot button issue this was in the 80s. But what never was, what I never once saw. I mean, back then, or even the 90s, not even third hand, friendships and families breaking apart over it. And I'm just telling people, peace. That's it. That's a product for this new generation. I go on with how kids are whiny little snots now, and by kids I mean people under 35. In other words, people are collectively on the rag right now. Yeah, I know you're a feminist. I hope you don't take too much thought on the analogy, but I did say people, not women. I also thought I was talking to a woman at this point. Everyone is sitting on the edge of their seats, angrily anticipating when other people are going to say something that they can find offensive so they can jump up and scream and shout and start talking behind their backs and yada, yada, yada. I don't have a solution to this. This thing I said would prove to be prophetic in this thread. I'll probably come back button up all that in a little in a little less than a tweaker from Bullhead kind of way. I get tired of saying Apache Junction every time I make an analogy about that. Admittedly, I might have been a little all over the place right there. So I'm self-aware. Here, the one part I skipped over. Though my profile, even the religious in I'm not doing identitarian talk, at least not here. Though my profile should be pretty obvious in case it's relevant to you. You know, like you look at my, whatever. And of course, as we can see, my profile has a picture of me at my synagogue with the Israeli flag. The Israeli burden. Ooh. It's like the mark of fucking Cain. I swear to God. Okay. And Wolf Bandit Ed says, girl, get on meds. I don't got time for brainwashed Israeli Zionist power trigger depository. I need to get on my meds? Forget about the fact that you're jumping all over me for my Zionism, something you obviously know nothing about. I'm enjoying life and vibing in gold. I'm slaying. I'm in the Louis Vuitton and painting the town red. I'm making money move. I'm a boss. You're not getting an education on grammar, apparently, but okay. I'm a boss. You're a worker. Know your place. Oh, you a classist? Wolf Bandit Ed? I mean, Godspeed, you're making money, but I had no idea that you Marxist. You kind of sound like a Marxist. I'm a boss, you're a worker. Oh, look, Lubby, that's a worker. Don't start actually talking to him, though. Oh, bourgeoisie of, like, either you're full of shit and you're just like the rest of us. Lowly us. Lowly working people. Man, if you were a leftist and you said this 30 fucking years ago, you'd be lucky if all they threw at you were vegetables that were soft. Yeah, I have no wish to engage in that kind of talk. I actually didn't catch the I'm a boss, you're a worker. I know your place. I skimmed over it. I'm actually kind of glad I didn't see that at first. So here on out, most of what I say is 70% sarcasm and 30% fuck you. But I just want to say it one more time. I'm slaying Louis Vuitton. Are you sure it's not Coco Chanel? Sure Louis Vuitton, not Coco Chanel? No? Anyway. Okay. Yeah. So, know your place. I said, saw this coming. So, what's it like being a feminist using the exact same talking point that neo-Nazis were saying 30 years ago? Yeah. Actually, they're saying the exact same talking points now, too. Anyone that doubts that, I would be glad to add you to a particular group page I belong to filled with them. And white nationalists, who should be condemned utterly. Condemned totally. No doubt. Thank God for Donald Trump saying that. He meant it. Clearly, you guys did. Saying brainwashed. She calls me brainwashed. He calls me brainwashed. And I'm used to brainwashed people calling me brainwashed. Liars are the first person to call people liars. Dumb people are the first people to call people dumb. That's just the world we... Literally, the first thing a brainwashed person says, who's never even been to the Middle East. Oh, vibrating gold, she says. You're vibrating KGB-trained Muslim Brotherhood PLO propaganda, dollface. That much I can see. Gold, I'll have to take your word on that one, love. Bye, sis. I knew I was going to get blocked. Although, strangely, I was blocked and then put back on here. And then she says, go talk to a therapist. I will leave it to anybody reading this if any of us need to see a therapist, which totally calm. And I posted the Israeli burden, and I couldn't, which made me think I was blocked. So there you have it. I did say this. I did tell you this, Hugh. My days of civility with people like this are over. Ever since I got you're a settler colonialism bombed on your porch that day. Oh man, I got to remember to start turning on like my recording device because I miss so many opportunities. I need to be like the fucking Zoomers and millennials that have their fucking recording devices on all the time. I got enough memory on my phone now. So there we have it. And by the way, I tried so hard to not we have a thing. We call certain kind of Jews Jews. And I even created this meme. I made it all by myself with crayons and watermelons and rainbows. As a Jew, I say Israel should recognize as a settler colonial state based on white supremacy. And in 1953, okay, and then of course my guy saying we're not going to be the first country on the planet to dismantle ourselves after legitimately granted statehood. Sorry, you can read. But yeah, this is and I had to portray the as a Jew as a far leftist because any others. Ben Shapiro, he's accused of that all the time, but he doesn't do that. I mean, he's never said as a Jew, and therefore you're wrong and you can't argue with me. And I don't want him to do that. I don't like Jews that do that. I really don't. And Jews who are very committed to who they are. As far as I've seen. As a Jew, I don't like Jews that say as a Jew before they say something. So, that was fun. Why did I do this? I'm not doxing the bitch. Obviously, she's perfectly comfortable sporting this around. So, yeah, I'm not, I wouldn't, oh my God. So, it's clearly somebody that's seen. I've never met this person that or if I did, it was either, I would think I would remember. He clearly knows a lot of the same people I do. Probably, wouldn't it be fun if I ran into this person tonight? I might be going out with Sean later. I haven't seen him in a while. Who, Sean who? Well, don't matter. Hugh knows what I'm talking about. There's a lot of Sean's in the scene. So yeah. I love when they use Zionism as a slur and bark at me. And typically when a dog barks at me, I don't bark back. But I have no problem describing the bark of the dog for the sake of scientific research. So there we go. I guess there's nothing else to say about this. I want to get a collection of these on video. This is fun. Keeping one foot in the home country, though. You may see us leave at some point. If this shit gets any more... Imagine if this fucker had said this 10 years ago in a public forum. 15 years ago, maybe. And they barked at other people and called them Nazis. Damn. Hypocrisy is the air some people breathe.